This is kind of wild. You know, when I do these videos, I'm looking at various pieces of information and news, and I was looking at this 2025 Travelers Injury Impact Report, and I guess they analyzed 2.6 million workers' compensation claims submitted between 2015 and 2024. So, just FYI, if you're watching this from Ohio, they have a single system, the Ohio Workers' Compensation System. Some states, and so if you file a claim, either it's going to be a self-insured claim or it's going to be held. The state fund is going to cover the workers' comp claim. Some states don't have any kind of workers' comp kind of system. They don't, like Ohio has a monopoly on the workers' comp system. Some states do not. So maybe if you're in a state that doesn't, you have to get workers' comp insurance. You have to pay for it yourself or through your employment. So that may be what this travelers thing is all about. But it's interesting. They're looking at the statistics, and it looks like from more recent times, the majority of the injuries from 2020 to 2024 are occurring with new employees, and then folks who are, like, I guess 60% or older. So I don't know what that means. I guess maybe if you're starting on the job, you're not aware of the hazards of the job, and maybe if you're older, you're more prone to get injured. Maybe that's the inference. And it's also interesting. They're looking at the big areas where people are getting injured, the big kind of job areas, and in like construction, for instance. The most expensive claims happen in construction, and I guess it was almost double all the other industries. Manufacturing, the most expensive and most frequent injury that occurred there apparently was shoulder injuries. Not really sure why that would be the case. And like wholesale, like when you're like in an Amazon warehouse or something, it would be a lot of back injuries, which kind of makes sense because if you're schlepping packages and lifting boxes from the conveyor belt to a bin, or from the bin to something else, you're lifting things. So that kind of makes sense. And then small businesses, the most common cause of injuries there are like slips, trips, and falls. And I guess they happen at the most frequently. And I don't know, this was kind of surprising. Second highest costs per claim. So I don't know if that means, yeah, I guess but I guess that makes sense. Tripping, slipping, falls, because you're working in an office. Like, how else are you going to get hurt? Like, you're going to trip over something, or you're going to fall down the steps, or whatever. Otherwise, you're just typing in a computer and you're schlepping around paper. So anyways, I'll put a link to this report and you can read it yourself and kind of be amazed by the information.